public leave meeting.
Hi, Madeline.
Hey, girl, what's up?
We are doing a bonus episode. We've taken a few weeks off. For those who listen, you might have noticed that we kind of skipped the last few weeks. I think both Madeline and I have been going through some stuff and just needed to get caught up. And then we watched a certain movie, which we will be reviewing today.
A certain movie is definitely like how you should put it, because my sister texted me before I'd even watched it, and she was like, you should review this for your podcast, which she doesn't even listen to. But anyway.
Fuck you, Maeve.
That was Neve, actually. Yeah.
Well, fuck you, Neve.
Yeah. You're not going to hear this, so yeah. She actually does listen every week, and she's like, wow, guys.
I feel like this movie is like part of the reason why I had to take 2 weeks off, but we'll probably get into that when we start getting into specifics. But yes, so this is a bonus episode of Another Picture Show podcast. I wasn't planning on talking about this at all because I don't know, I wasn't sure if it counts, you know?
That's what I said when my sister texted me. She was like, at first I didn't know what it was when she said it, and I was like, what is that? And then I looked it up and I was like, I don't know if this counts. And she was like, well, watch it and then determine if it counts.
Yeah. So Neve is now dictating what we watch on this podcast. Because you brought it up to me. You were like, we should review this. I was like, yeah, it doesn't really go with our theme for this month or, this season of female-led films, but we'll make an exception.
Our bonus episode was a Disney bracket, so yeah, I mean,
we're going to make an exception. So this is a very long way to say we're going to be talking about Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yay!
Yes. So for those who have been living under a rock, Bo Burnham just released his new special on Netflix. He wrote it, he directed it, he filmed it, he starred in it. He did everything himself. He was basically alone in this room for a year during the pandemic, filming this special. And
it looked like a guest house almost.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's his like little studio guest house that's part of his actual house. So he doesn't, actually sleep in there.
He makes a lot of money. He definitely does not sleep in that like studio apartment looking thing.
No furniture, just equipment.
And a stove.
Yeah. So Madeline, before we get into the special itself, I'm curious, like, how familiar are you with Bo Burnham and his like work before this?
So I've seen his others. I don't know how many specials he has, but I've definitely seen the one. It's like my favorite one where at the end he's doing like he's making fun of Kanye and he's talking about the Chipotle bowl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've probably seen another one. I've probably seen 2 other ones besides Inside at least. Mm-hmm. And I definitely when he was on Vine back in the day, I was watching his Vines. One of my favorite Vines of all time is him, and he's like he's like, hey Jesus, can you toss me a bottle of water? And it's like 1 bottle of water coming up, and he catches it and it's a bottle of wine. It was really fun. So I know, and I knew his like YouTube videos. Like I don't want to be like I'm a mega fan or like anything like insane, but I've known about Bo Burnham for a long time. Mm-hmm. And of course he was in Promising Young Woman. So he's expanded into like
he's the
acting.
front of
and he was a director. I saw his movie 8th Grade. He directed, I don't know if he wrote it, but he directed that movie.
Yeah, he wrote it.
I've seen that.
Was it good? I haven't seen it.
It was like, I feel like it was definitely for a younger audience. Like it was definitely made for somebody who was in 8th grade to like relate to. So like when I was watching it, I was like, because there were like things like you're like, oh, like it's really important that like an 8th grader sees this. Like this is how like older boys act. Like don't like there's a scene, I don't want to spoil too much, like maybe we'll talk about it some other day, but like she's like in the car with like a high school boy and like things get a little hairy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like, but Hannah and I were like, my roommate at the time, where like I was like I need another drink before we watch this. Like it was just one of those things where it's like, it's cringy, but it's like it still had good, like it was good, but it was like cringy at the same time,
Yeah, I would say I don't want to say that I've like followed Bo since the beginning of his career, because like I've known about him since the beginning of his career, but I wasn't like I really wasn't an online person until college, really. So like the beginning part of his career, like I had heard of him, I had probably seen a few vines here and there, but like I wasn't following him as I feel like closely as I am now.
I feel like I didn't know his name until he started becoming like really popular on Vine. Like I've seen his YouTube videos and like, oh, you know what song it was? I'll have to look up the video. There was just this one Vine that he did that was like so fucking funny. And I was like, wait, I feel like I've seen something like this before. And then I found his YouTube page and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, this guy. So it definitely was one of those, like, he had like a big Vine or whatever go viral, and then kind of like you, I was like, oh, right, I get it now. But I've known about him probably since like 2015.
Yeah. I mean, I watched all of his specials. So like I didn't really follow his YouTube career too much, but I did watch his specials. Words came out in 2010, I think. And then What was 2013? I remember watching that like all the time.
What? Yes,
all the time. Freshman year of college, I was like in Ryan's dorm room and like our mutual friend's dorm room. Like it was on all the time. And then Make Happy is the one I think you're referring to.
Yes, Make Happy is the one with the Kanye reference, which I adore.
And then Inside came out this year. So there's a little bit of a hiatus. Yeah, I think it's interesting watching all of his specials from the beginning to now, like the progression of his like his comedy evolving a little bit.
Like his humor.
Because he's always been a very visual comedian and a very, you know, using the medium in a very interesting way with music and lights, and he's very theatrical. And What is definitely like his I'm on the scene now, pay attention to me. And Make Happy is he's kind of becoming a little bit more I don't want to say cynical, but like meta in his approach to like content, I guess. And then Inside is straight up just like
it's funny, but you're like also time. Like you're like also bummed out at the same time.
Okay, so now we can start talking about Inside. But before I do that, I keep like saying, you know, preemptively, like before we do this, I want to give like a trigger warning, because I'm pretty sure like we're going to talk about like mental health, suicide, like a bunch of different topics that are in the special. And I know for me, this special like knocked me out for a few days because of my own issues, and I don't plan on holding back anything in this discussion. So preemptively, just trigger warning if you're not interested in listening to any of that. Otherwise, let's
buckle up.
Yeah, let's get into it. So
2
Madeline,
straps, 2 buckles, fucking a helmet, neck brace, preemptive neck brace.
Madeline, what did you think of Inside?
I think, okay, I kind of got drunk while I was watching it. So
like, I did too.
Yeah. So like part of me, it was just like really interesting because like the last song, like the one like Are You Nervous or whatever, Don't Be Nervous, where it's all blue, and like the one that you did the painting of, like where it's
All
like,
Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me, that's what it's called. Sorry. I feel like I should have like cried watching that part. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like I felt almost this like emotional buildup watching it, and I was like, I feel like I need to like release something right now. But I think I was like also in a weird way like too drunk to be emotional, you know, like the opposite end of like the emotional drunk spectrum, where you're either like sobbing constantly or you're like catatonic. And I was definitely leaning more towards catatonic. But I really liked it overall. I really liked it. I really I don't know. I've always loved, like we talked about, Bo Burnham's like humor and stuff like that. But I don't know. This one was, I mean, it's just so different. Like he really just took like a hard left and was like, you know what? fuck this, and just like skirt and decided to do whatever the hell he wanted. I think I liked it a lot because it, like, being in quarantine like sucked for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I had a better, I guess, quarantine experience, like just because like some people live alone. I didn't. Also, I had like family close by that like I was able to see every now and again. Like I didn't feel like completely isolated like a lot of people did. So I don't relate a lot to what he was going through, but I think as far as like mental health is concerned, like I definitely related to a lot of that aspect as far as like just like addressing like just like issues hit you like a fucking ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you don't realize like that how you're feeling is like, you know, something that you need to address. And so like once you kind of realize that, you're like, holy shit, like what is this life that I'm living where, you know, I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know. It just brought up a lot of like things to like the forefront of your mind in a way, but in a fun way.
No,
where you're kind of like, haha, oh.
No, I agree. I think, I mean, Bo himself never called this a comedy special, but like the way that it was kind of marketed, you're automatically assuming it's a comedy special. And so when I heard that Bo had released or was going to release, I was like, oh yeah, like it's been like 6 years or whatever since the last one. I'm excited. You know, I loved him in Promising Young Woman, and that's like really I haven't seen 8th Grade, so I was like just kind of excited to see what content he had come up with over the pandemic. And so me and Ryan like sat down to watch it, and we're all excited, and like the first half of it is like great, like it's what you expect pretty much. You know, there's those hints of like cynicism and things falling apart, but it's gradual. And then like
the sock, I think that's where it started to go like dark.
But then like I was drinking a twisted tea out of a wine glass. Felt very like this is what my 20s is all about, just like drinking twisted tea out of a wine glass and watching Bo Burnham like life fall apart. But yeah, and then it got to the All Eyes on Me song, and both Ryan and I were like standing up dancing because he yelled at us to stand up and dance, and I'm like, okay, whatever you say. But yeah, I think when it ended, I was kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like I was expecting it to be, you know, funny, but also have those elements of cynicism that Bo brings to his stuff. But I wasn't expecting to be like, yeah, which is not bad. Like that's not a bad thing that it was that, but
like I think we didn't realize we were going to be thinking a lot after we watched it, you know. It's like people like, yeah, you know, comedians, like performers in general, artists in general, use like their platform, a lot of them, not all, but like many of them will use their platform to like talk about big issues, good or bad. But I guess like you also think of like in some ways art as like a form of like escapism, where it's like it can take your mind off of the real world. And Bo Burnham was like, here's my fucking world in your face, like watch it, react to it however you want. And at the end, I was like, and even at the end though of Make Happy, I was kind of like, I remember watching it with my roommate, and I was kind of like, is he okay? And then the answer is not quite.
I feel like I had a feeling of like I just related to everything so much. Like he was hitting something that like not a lot of the people trying to create COVID art or like pandemic art right now have like actually addressed. You know, a lot of stuff is like just really like, oh, it sucks that we can't go outside, or like, you know, it's just very surface level, and it's not really,
or they're making like romance movies about being in quarantine. Like, shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah. And then this is like No, it sucks. And like, I'm actually struggling. And like, these are the deepest, like, most vulnerable places, while also like trying to perform for an audience. And like, for me, I'm letting everyone know right now that I'm going to be sounding a lot like a very pretentious artist like person throughout this episode, because
another trigger warning.
Yeah.
If pretentious artists trigger you,
yes,
sign off now.
I am that, he's a artist making something for an audience. So a lot of what is, on screen is coming from an authentic place, but is ultimately planned out and staged and curated to be a part of the special exactly the way that he wanted it to be. And also the story that he was forming with it, like, is just something that I can relate to, like trying to make something during quarantine when you yourself are struggling for people to make them happy, but then ultimately, wanting to know what they think about the things that you make, but ultimately not really wanting to know what they think because you don't want to know the truth about it. And like, I don't know, it's just a lot of layers, and I'm gonna try not to sound like a jerk talking about being an artist, but
it kind of makes you wonder, like, at least for me, like, what he's really like. Because I mean, like, this is, I mean, except for like fucking putting a camera in his house and being a total creep, like, this is a lot of like, what you see is what you get. And you're right, like, he obviously like staged and bought a lot of equipment and whatever to do this, but like, how much more like authentic can you get? Because like, even like, I don't know, even people who like vlog, like, not to be like shitting on people who vlog, but I'm gonna shit on people who vlog for a second. Like it's all like a front, but at least in some way he's trying to, whether it's like being like, whether it's a performance or not, he's trying to like demonstrate like, this is what I'm going through and this is how I'm feeling. Like, it would be majorly depressing, like major bummer, major like downer if, I just showed you a documentary of me being sad all the time, or like being like lonely or being frustrated or whatever. How about I just like jazz it up, but this is still like what I'm going through. So like, so it made me wonder, like, like, are you good? Are you good, bro? You've been alone a while.
Well, the thing is like, he wasn't actually alone. He lives with like his girlfriend and his dog in like their house. Like, this is I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I know he has like a whole house. He doesn't have this like, again, studio apartment or whatever. And then I guess my other thing is like, I know part of it is because it took him way longer to make the special than he originally planned. He says so, like, in the special. He's like, thought I'd be done with this like months ago, but here we are. But I think it's interesting that it was released now. Like, kind of, I don't want to call this like the end of the pandemic, because the pandemic's still going on. Like, get vaccinated, people. We are a pro-vax podcast, motherfuckers. But like, I think it's interesting that he released it now, almost as like a retrospective, like kind of, again, pandemic's not over, blah blah blah. All that aside, it's almost like looking back on the last year, because like, even now, like, again, like, because I'm vaccinated, because like my entire family now is vaccinated, and like places are lifting mask restrictions, like, it's not a distant memory. It's still very much a reality. Like, you still hear COVID, and you hear like, shit like that every day. It's not a subject that's going to go away anytime soon, but like, it is starting to feel like when I was watching it, I'm like, oh no, this is like what he's going through right now. And I'm like, no, this is what he was going through like a year ago. I don't know. It was like a very surreal thing where I'm like, is this kind of a sign that like things, in a way, like things are looking up, that like this was just like, as far as like quarantine and like isolation, like this was like just a phase in his life. Obviously the mental health like issues that he was talking about go beyond the last year and a half, but I'm thinking very, very meta, because I was like watching it and I was like, why does this feel like, it is in the past, but like, why does it feel like the past. I don't know. I'm having a hard time like articulating what I'm trying to say.
He doesn't like mention the pandemic at all, which is interesting. I think it's an interesting choice because it's timely, because we obviously watching it know why he's stuck in our room for a year, but he doesn't talk about the pandemic. It's just implied, which I think allows it to feel like it could be any time, you know, because the metaphor of being stuck inside is like more than just the pandemic. It's about like being stuck inside like your own limitations, your own mental illness, and you know, trying to step outside of it and like get help. So I think it works on that level.
I agree.
So I think I kind of wanted to go through the songs, like each song, and if we don't have, you know, and then just, you know, give our thoughts, because I feel like each song has something special about it. So we start with Content. He's sitting alone in his room with the like light thing on his head, and then he like looks up at the
moment he looked up at the fucking disco ball, I was like, I love this already. Like I was already like, yep, we're watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think I literally said out loud, I was like, I love him.
It's like, Daddy made me some content and I'm so happy. He knows this is what I want.
Daddy, give me the shiny disco ball, Daddy.
Yeah. Like, yes, he knows that I'm a simp. But yeah, so that's the beginning, and then we go into comedy, which is like he wants, you know, the world is shitty and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do to help. And he's like, well, I'm good at comedy and that's what the world needs because it's a shit show. And
he was like, what could I do? He said something like, what could I do that like also makes me money?
Like, yeah, well, getting paid, but I would do it for free. It's like, okay. I love the line when he's like, should I stop being funny? Should I give away my money? And he's like, no.
Then he was like, well, I'm a white man, maybe, so I should just shut the fuck up. I'm bored.
I don't want to do that. But that's all very good. Very good. I love like all the like little details that he puts in the song, like things that he's writing on the whiteboard, like the like graph of all the things that he, you know, ideas that he has, and it's all like digs at other comedians and what they're doing. Like if you pause it and like look at it,
I meant to do that, but I forgot.
It's pretty funny. I love the like MLK, Weird Al, me. He's like in the middle of the And then we move on to FaceTime with my mom, which I think is one of the like less memorable.
It was really funny though.
Yeah. It was a little less memorable for me just because I felt like it was kind of just a basic joke about boomers.
I think, well, just thinking, I guess like this is one that like made me think about this a lot. Like I like this special so much because it's not like in front of a live audience, so he can do so much more.
Yeah.
And, like this song like was like the best example because or not the best example, I guess, like when I first thought about it. It's obviously like different shots, like different angles of him like yelling at the phone and then being like, and the song's playing, so like you can't like hear what he's saying, but you can kind of read his lips, and he's like yelling, he's like move your fucking thumb, move your thumb off the screen, and then he's like I'm sorry, I'm sorry, yeah. Like it's just like really funny because it's like you can't really do that like in front of a live audience. Like it'd be like you'd have to do it differently, and it just paid off. Like I thought that part was really fucking funny.
And also the like aspect ratio changes to like, you know, that of a phone, which adds to the artistic flair of the special. Is he's able to do that kind of stuff to like really get us to feel the vibes of what he's going for.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I thought it was hilarious that he was able to just like go ham in like 5 different shots of him screaming at his mom and then like crying because he's so mad and then apologizing. It's very good. And then we move on to How the World Works with our friend Sako.
Oh my god. This is the one where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
here we go. So
I
yeah,
was
it's like the
definitely
first,
caught off guard.
The first 20 minutes, you're like, ha ha ha, like cool, like oh, disco ball, y'all study, like ha ha ha, FaceTime, and then it's like, and then it's Sako comes out, and he's like, no, pulling the sock off. Yes, what? Oh my gosh.
I was not prepared. Like I don't know what I was expecting from the special, but that kind of like threw me for a loop. I was like, oh shit, okay, so this is where we're headed. I'm here for it, but it's dark.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh shit, okay. I mean, like I like this one because I mean it's all true. Like everything he says is true. Criticizing our education system, just liberal establishments being like, we're here to help, but really they're not. Like as soon as people actually call for change and like tell you specifically how to help and like what needs to change, you're like, actually you said that too aggressively, so like go fuck yourself. So I don't know, I thought it was a nice critique of
how the world works.
Yeah, how the world works. And also the colors, everything about the like melody of the song, it's just like a child's educational video. It's just so good.
It was
it's been
definitely
stuck in my head for like
a
5
Sesame
days.
Street after hours song,
like a Mr. Rogers puppet show type thing. And then we have like a little interlude where he does the like brand. He does the like brands.
What was it? What did he say? He's like, what are you doing against systemic racism, Funyuns or something?
Just like, what are you doing to prevent racism? Bagel bites.
Yeah, that was it. Bagel bites. Yeah, bagel bites got me.
What I tell them is.
But it was so good. It was like so on the nose and a stupid little fucking ponytail in the back.
Oh my god.
I want to rewatch it like right now. I want to watch it again. Just
so good.
What are you doing against systemic racism? Bagel bites.
It's not, do you want to buy whatever? It is,
how are you going to support
us against the fight against Lyme disease? So good. And like the colors and the like, he's got this stupid little ponytail and his like hipster little get up, his like outfit.
Yeah. God, that was really funny. That was real. That one got me for sure.
And then
they all get me.
We go straight into White Woman's Instagram, which is, I think,
that's a good one. Damn,
it's like
that was really funny.
One of the more artistic ones. I mean, each of the songs that he does, it's like amazing what he was able to do in just like the one room, how he could make each song look different and artistic in its own way. But I think he put the most work into White Woman's Instagram because of
he had to have known that one was gonna like absolutely slap. Like the moment he wrote it, he was like, oh fuck, this song slaps. Like this was gonna be all over the TikTok.
It is. It is all over the TikTok.
The TikTok.
I love like, I mean, okay, so when this one came on, I felt triggered a little bit. I was like, I feel attacked. But then I was like, no, like I get it. It's not like he put a lot of work into the actual images. So he's like, showing that aesthetically it's like great. White women being basic on Instagram is fine. Like he's not making fun of it. He's not doing the like, oh, white women are basic and dumb for liking these things. It's more about like the performative activism that also comes along with that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to keep their aesthetic consistent. So they'll like do stupid shit and try to be woke.
I really
it's just good. It's very good.
I really appreciated like how far he went. Like he took his whole fucking pants off. Like he was wearing like the sweater, like the flannel, and he's like no pants. Yeah. He's like in the socks and he's like all bashful, like trying to be sexy or whatever. And I was like, you really did not have to do that.
No, he did not. I'm thankful for it though.
No, I really loved it.
I
was hoping, like, not in like a creepy way, but in a creepy way. I was like, I'm kind of hoping he like does one where he's like butt naked or something, where, you know, like the ones where like the on top, a classic white woman Instagram is like you're naked on top of like a mountain, like in a remote area, and you're like the bra or whatever. Like
that's a classic white woman Instagram.
I have seen so many people like
just get naked.
No, not like it's like a silhouette, like they're or their back is like their backs to the camera, so like they're wearing like shorts or something. They're topless. I shouldn't say like butt naked. But they're topless and like they took their shirt off, they're waving their bra, and they're like, it's like a beautiful like mountain, you know, fucking valley or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, haha, like free in nature or something stupid. And it's like, yeah, okay, get it, free the nipple, whatever. But like, put your damn bra on. It's a national park. There are children around.
You wanted to see Bo Burnham outside in the wilderness, topless. Okay,
it's a fantasy.
Yeah, I mean. Okay, I'm gonna admit something I probably shouldn't, but like this whole special, like I'm not sexually attracted to Bo Burnham.
You are now.
But I kind of am. And I don't think like he's an attractive person, right? I don't know. I feel like it's like everything about what he's doing in this special, I'm just like, do I like this? No, but do I?
You like look down, your legs are like all the way open. You're like, whoa, how'd that happen? Ryan's next to you, like, I don't know.
Well, okay, so
weren't marry me.
I don't want to objectify him in any way. That's not my point in bringing this up. I just think that there's something about his personality that comes through in this, and like everything he's trying to say, the way that his like he's confident in his body in doing this. It's like just very, I just want to watch him like more than anything else. Like I said, I don't want to like have sex with him or anything, but
I'm picking up what you're throwing.
Say something.
What if I just sat there just nodding like,
yeah, okay. But do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I really am picking up what you're throwing down. I too am not like, oh, let me lay that down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a creep.
I feel like
I keep saying creepy things. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, same.
But no, I agree. I think that's another reason why it is like so good. Is like it is very like authentic, like because he had to do it all himself. Like he was like he literally like he didn't have. I don't know how much like you know. Extra people help him with his other specials, but he's like, nah, this is all me, ho. Like I think if you look at the credits, like there's maybe 3 other names.
There's like a few people who helped him with like post-production stuff, but that's like exactly to be expected. And even if like there were people on set with him, it doesn't take away from like the amount of work he put into this and like the authenticity of it, you know. I think he's still incredibly talented and it shows.
Oh, he's like borderline genius, honestly.
Yeah. But back to the white woman Instagram. Do you have like a favorite picture or, you know, white woman aesthetic that
I think it was this either the flannel or when he had the glasses on and he was like lighting the little pumpkins.
Yeah. I think I liked the like one half of his face is like slut whore, like you're too
like
skinny.
On his neck, like too skinny got me. I was like,
and the other half is like brave, strong, whatever. Oh, it's just like so true. Like
I am the violence in the pouring rain.
You liked that?
I like that one a lot. I'm gonna use it unironically now.
They were all very on the nose perfect. He did a lot of research. I've seen a lot of people say or like trying to figure out if it was misogynistic, and I don't think it was, but I'm curious to know like what you think.
I mean, am I biased with a little bit of like Bo Burnham exceptionalism? Maybe. I personally
can do no wrong.
Also biased because like I do have an Instagram, but it's very much just photos of my dog. So the only like one that I could have possibly been like, hi, was him being like a teacup pug or whatever it was. Like, I don't know. He said
a golden retriever in a flower crown or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Because like I do pose my dog sometimes to go on Instagram, or I take 40 pictures of him asleep on the couch and I post them.
I mean, why do you have a dog if not to post 1,000 pictures of them?
Yeah. I don't have the time or energy to like make an Instagram account just for my dog. It's my Instagram account, but all the content is my dog. Know the difference.
Guinness is like, Daddy made you some content, Madeline.
Guinness falls asleep in a cute way, like, oh yeah, Daddy just made you a really great Instagram post op. Take a picture before I roll over. But okay, so I'm a little biased because one, I'm not extremely active on Instagram. As far as like posting like quote unquote basic photos. I don't take a lot of photos of myself. It's anyway. The other I think people just get like so up in arms when like people make fun of white people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, I saw the funniest post the other day and it was like so it was like, how dare you say like white people have no culture? And then they're like, check this out. And it was like a stock photo of like a dog like licking someone's entire, like a white person's entire face. And I like just passed out. So I was like, yeah, like, it is like, if you think about it, it is really fucking gross that we let dogs lick our faces. But
yeah, we do that.
I still do it. I still am like, get up in here.
Yeah.
And he licks my face. And I don't care. It's part of my culture. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like people get like so hypersensitive. Stupid snowflakes.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it was misogynistic. I don't think he was like, haha, dumb white women.
Yeah.
Dumb white women doing dumb things on Instagram. Like, I think he literally was just, I mean, yeah, what am I saying? Like, there's like subtext, you know, in everything. Like, but he literally, all he was doing was being like, it's a golden retriever on a white woman's Instagram. Like, that's all he was saying. Like, he was literally just stating facts. Like,
yeah,
I mean, these posts exist. And there's like subtext and people are probably reading into the subtext. Like, was he being misogynistic or not? And it's like,
I mean, I think it's like like I said, I was triggered at first because we have a lot of people who do make fun of like white women or like people posting things on Instagram that might be basic, coming at it in bad faith, saying like they're dumb for liking these things. But that's not really like what he was doing. He, like you said, it was just, if you go to any random white woman's Instagram account, you will find probably one of these things.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But I think part of it too, like I said before, is he was calling out just like he did with the I'm a special kind of white guy in the comedy.
MLK.
Yeah, like the like performative activism that you find there too. Like the using a Lord of the Rings quote and attributing it to Martin Luther King. Or like cultural appropriation, like posting random pictures of the Buddha and like wearing feathers and stuff in your hair, like just stuff that white women do or, you know, people do that they think is fine because it's an aesthetic, and they think they're being woke in doing it, but it's, you know, it's all performative and it's not genuine, and you're not actually helping anybody by doing that.
Right. And so, you're a whore.
Okay, yeah.
No,
that's what he was saying. You're a whore.
Yeah, you're a whore.
That's the misogynistic part.
Yeah. You guys
nobody got. Yeah. So I agree with you. I don't think it was misogynistic. And also, like, when he starts talking about the like woman's post about her mom that passed away and how she misses her, and like the like aspect ratio widens a little bit. Like during the whole song, it's the like 4:3 aspect ratio to kind of make it look like a Instagram picture, but then it widens a little bit when she's talking about this like deep personal thing about her mom and like the life that she has now and her boyfriend and her job, kind of like she's a full person with like things going on. She's not just what she shows on her Instagram.
Right.
And then it kind of closes back up a little bit because people make fun of white women for trauma dumping or, you know, writing long posts about things going on in their life. Like, we don't care. We only care about the aesthetic. So it's kind of like an interesting,
quite literally a double standard.
Yeah.
Where it's like, haha, you dumb woman for posting all these basic vacation photos, but, you know, be deep, and then like, quote unquote trauma dumping, and it's like, ew, like just stick to your photos or whatever. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. All right. So then from White Woman's Instagram, we have the unpaid intern little jazz number.
Oh, like when you think about meta, I think this is like what I think of, where it's just like, I think about time travel a lot. So I was thinking about
time travel.
Oh yeah. Like I think about time travel far too often.
I'm having a hard time connecting the dots here. So,
well, what I'm thinking, like, because it's like, because he's watching something that literally just happened, like no time has passed.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
already like existing essentially like in another plane, and like of course like he's shook by it. So I was thinking, I thought that one was really good. And it's also like a jab at like the YouTube people who like just like their whole job is to just like react to things,
to give their thoughts on something.
Like we're reacting to a movie, but
I'm just gonna say
I won't shade too hard.
I'm just gonna say like we are no better than anybody giving their thoughts on this. I had avoided like watching any reactions or listening to anything about this because I was like, I don't care what other people have to say about it. Like, I don't want to hear people's analysis. I kind of just want to keep it in my mind and like how I think. But then now I'm coming on here and giving my thoughts. So please listen to our podcast and our thoughts. But,
please, we're self-aware.
That's the whole point of
that earns us some points, right?
Being self-aware doesn't make us not assholes. Right?
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah, he said something like that. He was like, I'm not actually an asshole. That's that's me trying to be self-aware. It's a defense mechanism. Yeah.
So that was very good, very clever. And then we get a Bezos part 1, which I loved the Jeffrey Bezos songs. And if any of the songs have been stuck in my head, it's these. The Jeffrey Bezos. It's like,
I feel like it's almost like a super villain like intro, you know, which like Jeff Bezos is kind of a super villain. So I don't know. It's just so random. Like those were like, I was like, what the fuck are you even trying to say about Jeff Bezos? He's like, what did he say? He was like, kill Elon or something like that.
He's like, basically, I think it was around the time that he became like the richest man in the world, right? So he surpassed Zuckerberg, Gates, and Buffett. So he's like, amateurs, they can fucking suck it. Like show us how you did it, Bezos. And then the second one, I guess, why is he in like a ghillie suit? Is that what they're called? It's like you look like a plant when you go hunting. Like, why are you?
I was like, where did you get that? Like, I know
Amazon?
You can buy anything on the internet, but like, holy shit, like, where the fuck did that come from?
I'm assuming Amazon, but yeah, he's like, you did it. Like, he became the richest man in the world. He's like, congratulations. It's so.
But he's like, kill them all or something like that.
He's like, fuck their wives, drink their blood.
Yeah.
Get them.
Yeah. Get them. I need to watch it again. Like, I think it's just like so much happened at once, and it was an hour and a half, so it's like a feature length film.
Oh, I have it. Like, I've watched it 8 times, so I've
only watched it once, so I'm at a disadvantage.
Come on, Madeline. No,
I literally only knew about it like Monday.
No, it's all good. I have it. I've watched it enough for both of us. I'll bring anything you want me to talk about back to light.
Back to the surface. Got it. Okay.
So Bezos, I don't know why it just tickles me, just gets to me. And then we have sexting.
That one was so, I keep saying it every time. I'm like, oh, that one was so good. I feel like that one was almost triggering for me because it's like, I'm very much like the woman in this, where it's just like sent back like a snowman and you're just like, okay.
Crisis averted.
She sends a Ferris wheel. What does that mean?
Yeah. Luckily, I mean, okay. This felt like a very nostalgic song because it's been a long time since I've like done that, you know, but it's still something that I had done at one point in my life, but not because of a pandemic. Luckily, I have been able to live with my partner and be with them throughout all of this. So like that wasn't really part of my pandemic experience, but like it just felt very
I tell you, man, dating during or attempting to date during a pandemic is not all it's cracked up to be. Trust me.
Tell us about it, Madeline.
It's just weird. I mean, like dating apps existed for a while.
Yeah.
But okay, what I liked, a quick aside before we get back to this song, because I only had a couple like weird experiences. Like Olivia knows about both of them. The first was this guy essentially just like the day we were supposed to go out was just like, nah. He literally was like, I'm out. And I was like, fuck you, man. He was just horrible. Terrible person. I like got drunk and like ripped him to shreds via text. And I felt good about that. Like
it was a very, very good text. I read it before you sent it.
Yeah. Because I was drunk. I was like, somebody needs to proofread this before I sound crazy. And then the second one was this guy who, he knows about the podcast. The first guy doesn't. I could go on about him all day long, but I won't.
We're not naming names, so whatever.
We're not naming names, but he lived a lifestyle that I was not interested in being a part of. And also he came on very strong. Like he was one of those people you like text and you'd send like 16 texts back. Like you're driving and you just see like bing, bing, bing. And you're like, like you're going to drive off the road. You're like so stressed out. But the one thing I like about, the one thing I did like about like quarantine dating was COVID is the perfect out. If you don't want to meet someone, you can be like, look, at least, pre-vaccines rolling out. You can be like, look, I'm quarantining right now because I'm going to go see my parents in a week or whatever. I'm sorry. Like, oh no. Oh, and this other guy, he like got exposed to COVID. Sorry, there was a third dude. I totally forgot about this bitch. He got like, we were literally the day we were supposed to go out, separate dude from the first guy that I like roasted. He was like, he had a COVID scare at work. They sent everyone home the day we were supposed to go out. And I was like, okay, like that sucks. Like I was vaccinated at that point. So I was like, okay, stay home, like do your thing. But like we can meet up maybe next week or whatever. Like I'm not worried if like I'm vaccinated, blah, blah. He like continued the conversation as if we had never agreed to go out. Like he just kept talking. He never like was like, yeah, let's like reschedule. Nothing. So I was like, yeah, fuck this dude. Yeah, that bitch was weird. I don't know. I've had some crazy. I've never had success at dating. Like I don't think it's me. I think it's who I'm attracted to, which is pissing me off.
I mean, I don't think COVID and having to like use dating apps and stuff helps. I don't think that's like easy. No. I mean, I used them a while ago, so I know, I understand.
Dating
the types of people you find on there are not peak.
not diamonds in the rough.
Not
typically.
Bo Burnhams, if I may be so bold.
No. I mean, it works for some people. It really does not work for me. It has never worked for me. I've had the worst experiences of my life dating coming from dating apps. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure I'm going to be getting myself a partner in the wild.
Both of us have some crazy dating stories from.
We should do like a fucking separate.
We should. another bonus episode, but it's just not going to be movie themed. It's just us talking about our dating lives.
If we ever launch like a Patreon or something, it can be like our faces, like
come on, guys,
recordings.
Give us some listens, and we'll
you'll see our faces. Well, you've already kind of seen our faces, but you'll see us talk.
Yeah, we'll get a nice little setup. But yeah,
now you're gonna have my fucking humidifier in the background the whole time.
The sexting song, I thought it was really funny. It was just like so like uncomfortable, you know.
I just like the way he was sitting, like fucking like happy baby, like the happy baby pose in yoga, like taking a photo of his junk.
The flash from my phone makes my dick look frightened.
I don't even want to know what that. I've never received a dick pic like that. But I would not want to receive one that looks like a frightened penis.
I'm just envisioning it in my head, and I
already see it. It looks like a sad like worm.
No. I did appreciate I loved the like projector images over him, like all the emojis, and then I think at one point there's a flash of like a text that he wrote out, and it was basically like about consent. Like it was like, okay, very nice, adding that, you know, we appreciate it.
I roll. No, I'm kidding.
I love to see it. Yeah,
love to see it, but let's get back to the sexting. Come on now.
No, it was just like basically like we're doing this for fun, and if at any point you don't feel like you're having fun or you feel uncomfortable, like just tell me, because I don't want to make you uncomfortable, and you know, this is just supposed to be a good time, and I don't want to do anything you don't want to do, you know, all the stuff that people should be taking into consideration when they're doing stuff like that, involving sex, involving, you know, people's privacy and all that jazz.
No, I think his best purchase of equipment was that projector. Like it just
absolutely.
It just like, because it played such a pivotal role in so many of his songs.
I'm gonna cut this part out, but like Bo be packing, so dude. Was that a judgmental dude, or
no? I agree. I'm glad you said it.
Clutching your pearls.
No, but I literally was like, does anyone else see this? Like I was watching it alone. Nobody else was there. I was like,
Guinness? Do you see this?
Yeah, even Guinness was like at the screen, like, is mine supposed to be that big? I'm like, no, you're a dog, sweetie. Like, calm down. Yeah, I'm proud of him. Happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to objectify, just bravo, sir. Happy that you were comfortable putting all that on Netflix for the world to see. But we can move on, unless you have anything else you want to say about sexting. Sexting in general, just not even the song, just like in general.
Most guys are horrible at it.
Oh, yes. I think that's what the song is like.
Yeah, it's definitely like
guys suck at everything.
Most guys really, really suck at communicating via text in general. Like as far as like referring back to like online dating, like witty banter. Like I'm not the smartest or the funniest person in the world, but I can keep a conversation going. But like if I'm pulling all the weight, it's not cute anymore. Yeah. You know, it's not. I'm just having a good time with myself. Like I'm talking to myself at this point.
Aren't I funny? Yes, I am funny.
I'm amazing.
All right. So, and then we have his Look Who's Inside Again. It's the first time, I think, it's like the first time he sings it.
Which song was this again?
He's like sitting on the floor and he's talking about like being in a room. It's like, well, look who's inside again. That one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That one, I mean, yeah, I think that song was kind of just like reminding you that this is more like, it's more than just quarantine, kind of like you said. Like it's like, I think it's kind of hinting that like he's had issues in the past. Like he's like, this is like a recurring, you know, it ebbs and flows. It, like, you know, comes in waves or whatever. And like another wave has come in, and like, you know, the metaphorical being singing like, look who's back, is like kind of like hinting at like, you know, you're going through a dark time again. Like you're, you know, it's flaring up, or however you want to say it.
Yeah. And like he starts the song and then like cuts himself off and gets frustrated. And he's like, I took a big fucking breath, and then starts over again. So it's kind of like an instance of showing us his you know, perfectionist tendencies, and how he's like hard on himself while he's making his art for us to enjoy.
It was very like
stress.
It was very like, I don't want to call it like jarring, like I was like shooketh, but I was like, it was very like, it takes you out. You're like, oh shit, like, you know, he isn't this like like always this goofy like hee hee ha ha song about sexting and like Instagram, like, and that's the other thing. Sorry, I got like really meta thinking about this, like how like it's funny because it's like comedy, because it's comedy, so it's funny, and it in some ways is lighthearted, whatever. But then it's like how serious you have, like it's a job at the same time, so it's like you have to take it like you have to take your comedy seriously, like you have to take it seriously. So like he's like probably writing this, like he probably did that writing that's like the Instagram song, he was probably like recording it or whatever, and he got like fucking mad, and like, you know, like he probably had some like moments of like frustration and like anger and like, you know, minor blow-ups, whatever, like recording a song about Instagram or recording a song about sexting. He was probably like, fuck, whatever, you know what I mean? Like we all get like that.
Then we have problematic about his sins and how he has a problematic past, and you know, he said shitty things. He's a white man who's been on the internet for a while, and he's, you know, saying, hey, you know, I'm woke, but I still have done things. You should still hold me accountable. I'm not above any of that. And
I don't remember specifically anything problematic he said. Excuse me. But again, this might be some Bo Burnham exceptionalism coming through, because I am a big fan. But like, I think about people like, I mean, these are like people on YouTube mostly that I'm thinking about, as far as like who got like hard, who've been on the internet for a long time, or like there's this YouTuber named Shane Dawson.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Okay, like, some people don't like. Yeah, and then there's like Jeffree Star, and like they're just like, they have done some like whack ass shitty stuff, like, so like by comparison, like, and they 100% deserve to be canceled, like they 100% deserve their reckoning, like it was literally like 13 years like past due or whatever. So I mean, if somebody would like to enlighten me on the problematic things that Bo Burnham has said or done.
I mean, like I said, I haven't seen every single thing that he's made. All I know, like, he had a bit in one of his other specials, or in a live performance, where he basically like tricked the audience into saying the N-word, like collectively out loud.
Oh, right.
And then he's used the F word like throughout his career. And I'm sure there are other problematic things he's said and done that I don't know about, but like, it's just things that he's should be called out on and has been called out on, and he's asking to be called out on. He's like, you know, I am not above being held accountable, and that's what the song is about. But it's also like mocking the fact that he's a white guy, being like, I'm sorry for all the things I've said, like, you know, I'm Jesus being sacrificed. Like, I love that so much. It's like so good.
Again, the projector just coming in hot. Like, it's like it's the star of the show. Bo Burnham's the star, but where would he be without that projector, you know?
Nowhere. At all. No, it's I just love that it's like an 80s workout video, like a Footloose type. He's like, working out hard by himself in this room and punishing himself for the stupid things he's done.
But it's so funny because it's like, okay, no one cares how much you like punish yourself for like being problematic. You know what I mean? Like, it's more about, in general, it's more about like the things that you're doing, like, you know, I mean, there's internal work, but like externally to like show, you know, that you have actually improved upon like your past self and you're actually like making reparations for the damage you've done. I think so. Not trying to like I think that's what he's trying to say though. It's like nobody cares like how much you're punishing yourself if you're not actually changing from like the problematic stuff you do. Because like, you know, YouTube people and like celebrities and shit, they make these like apology videos all the time. They're crying and you're just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that you're crying. Like,
so Bo's apology is to put a projector of a cross up on his wall and like, I'm sorry.
If you want to make an apology video, you got to buy a projector. Like there's
Bo Burnham to direct it.
Yeah. There's a process.
Make it theatrical. I need my content when you're apologizing for being problematic. Anyways,
call the content daddy. He'll help you.
Yes. All right. And then we have 30. He turns 30. He sits in his little room by his clock and waits till the clock turns midnight. And he's 30. And it's like really sad and dramatic. Obviously, he didn't actually sit there like on his birthday night alone waiting for the clock. Like set it up to be exactly at, 11:58. But it's the, concept of that and like,
but it felt like it felt real. Like it really felt like he actually sat there on his birthday and was like, I'm turning 30.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the idea of being alone also and isolated, and like people tell you that turning 30 is going to be like the biggest thing, and like you're getting old and just like aging and where you're at in life and where people say you should be in life, and
Yeah, I mean, I think that one also kind of like hit home a little too hard. I'm not 30, I'm 25, but like it's one of those things where you kind of like there's still the milestones, like or like the we've talked about this before, like life isn't like, I think we talked about this in like Fight Club, where it's like life isn't just like go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, work until you die. Like it's not like that for everyone. But it's still like a popular like mindset that you have to like buy a house and like get married and have like 2 kids or 2.5 kids or whatever the statistic is. And
2.5 kids.
2.5 children.
Yeah.
My third son, he's a half-wit. I know that, but I still feel that, you still feel those pressures. You're like, because like, I don't know if I'm going to get married. Like there's nobody, I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm ruling it out. I'm not being like, I'm dying alone. Like, I'm not going to say that. That's ridiculous. But, like, I don't think I'm going to have kids. Like, I'm pretty certain I'm not having kids. Like, and by yourself, you're like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And then like, you mentioned like somebody says something like, oh, you don't have kids yet. Like somebody said that to me today. Like, oh, you're not a mom yet. And it's like so hard to be like, I'm not a mom yet. Yeah. Like it's already an expected thing, and like that's more specific for people with uteri, but every young adult goes through that, where it's like save to buy a house or save to buy a car.
I mean, like in the song, he's like, when my grandpa was 27, he fought in Vietnam. When I was 27, like I built a birdhouse with my mom. It's like, I feel that like I'm, when my mom was 26, she already had 3 kids. Like I'm 26 and I feel like I've accomplished nothing. Like I have a podcast, woo, but
yeah,
it's like I had this timeline I built for myself, like I want to be married by 25. I want to have kids before I'm 30, whatever. And like, I don't know if that's going to happen. So like, obviously I'm not married
I'm sure you and I have like talked about this, like when we were younger, like when we were like 20, we'd be like, whoa, isn't it crazy? In like 5 years, we'll probably be married.
Yeah.
And we were both like, yeah, whoa. And it's like, if I could go back in time and just slap the shit out of both of us.
Like, sweetie, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Like as you get older, like you kind of realize like life is long. Like life's motherfucking long. Like I'm 25, you know, hopefully I live into my 80s. That's another 50 years or more than that, 60 years. Holy shit.
It's like, but it is interesting that we're getting into that time of our lives where like those kind of life events are happening. You know, like he's my stupid friends are having stupid children. And I'm like, yeah, all my friends have dogs or like getting dogs. And it's like the practice round for all my friends starting to like have kids.
No, I'm just gonna keep acquiring dogs. Like that's as far as my family building will go. Like,
I mean, I'm you know, we're in the process of getting another dog.
She got her 19th dog. Okay.
So it's just accruing practice children before we have to have actual children.
Right.
If that happens.
Or to like be around children constantly, you know? Because it's like, because like you have siblings and your siblings are gonna, like people have siblings. I have too many siblings. And like, you know, I'm the middle of 5. Like we're all getting to that, you know, that family building age and stuff. So it's just like how crazy like life is and how you can't stop it. Like it's just gonna keep going.
And then we get to the intermission, which, okay, fun fact, when the clock strikes midnight at his 30th birthday is like apparently the exact like halfway mark of the special. It's like the second that is like the halfway mark of the special. And then after he sings 30, we get the intermission where he like wipes the glass.
I was really hoping the intermission would actually be like 15 minutes, like an actual like
go get a
theater intermission.
Yeah.
Like that would have made me laugh. I would have been like mildly annoyed, but you can fast forward.
I'd be like, the pretentious artist is coming out of him.
Yeah.
I would also, I think, have appreciated. I've been like the dedication, I think, to the bit, you know?
Yeah. Like if he just like wiped the window for like, or like done other shit like set up or whatever, like just like move shit around for like 15 minutes. And then like
just you watch him like literally set up the next thing. Like that would have been, that would have been cool. But alas, it's more the concept of the intermission than an actual intermission. And he's like wiping, it's kind of an actual like visual marker of like, okay, so the first half is done where we have fun. We had fun. We talked about some shit, you know, we had the like musical bits, and now we're getting to the serious shit. Like I've been doing this for 6 months. I turned 30. My mental health is like dog shit, but I appreciated the like, he's basically like wiping the slate clean for the second half. I was just like, oh,
daddy,
so deep. So smart and so whatever, but yeah. And then we have Don't Want to Know and Shit, the song Shit. He feels like shit, and it's very catchy, and bravo. And then he goes into All Time Low, which is he's talking. He's kind of it's almost been a year of him doing this, and we see that he's frustrated. And All Time Low, he's basically just like saying like, yeah, I'm not doing well. And then he flashes to, he like has a quick like weird, he sings what he's feeling and then goes back to talking, and is like, it's kind of a interesting way to portray his like two sides. Like there's like the real Bo Burnham, Robert, I guess, and then Bo, which is the performer side. So he's like giving us his like really hard emotions that he's feeling, but in a digestible way through like his singing and comedy.
Does he go by Bo, or is that like his stage name?
No, I think he does go by Bo, but his like birth name, his like full name,
his government name,
is Robert. Like at the beginning, he says like, Robert's been a little depressed. Yeah, when I saw a TikTok or something, like I've been trying to avoid watching too many like analysis things about this, but I saw a TikTok and it was like saying how throughout the entire special, it's kind of a duality between Robert, which is like his like real self, the person that we see setting up and like making the thing, and then Bo, the performer, and like the duality of those two characters throughout this whole special. And I felt like All Time Low was kind of like an instance where we see both of them like trying to communicate to us. So Bo or Robert is like, I'm feeling sad, or it's been this long, and then like Bo comes out to like tell us how he's feeling, because it's easier for us to like hear him talk about his depression when Bo is performing than if we like are actually watching Robert like be depressed. I thought that was interesting. It's kind of like a Fight Club like double personality thing, because we see it's I don't think we talked about the like video game like streamer bit, but like at some point the streamer like flashes, like it's like a flash frame at a random point.
I saw that. I was gonna ask if I was like, was I dreaming or did that actually happen?
I don't think that was an accident. Like Bo is a perfectionist, and we see that throughout this entire like all of his specials. He's like to the T, everything is like exactly the way he wants it to be,
and it's like really well coordinated.
So like I don't think people are online are like, oh, I think it's he edited himself, and so it's probably just a mistake. It's like he's always
too intentional.
No, like if you know anything about him, like you know how hard he is on himself and how much time and effort he puts into everything being perfect. Like there's no way that he let that slip. Like it feels kind of like a
also he had, as you said, like post-production assistants. Like there's definitely multiple, like more than one person reviewed this.
Before they put it on Netflix. Absolutely. It felt like a Fight Club thing. You know how in Fight Club there was like the like flash frames of Brad Pitt in moments of like the narrator having a split personality thing going on. It felt like a reference to that. It only happened the one time that I can remember, but
I don't think I saw it again. I was like kind of looking out for it. I definitely thought it was intentional, because I was like, what the fuck was that? But I didn't bother going back to like watch it, like to watch that second again. But I was like, oh, I think it was just like a flash of something. But yeah, I disagree with the internet who claims that it was a mistake. You're all wrong.
My opinion is the only opinion that is correct, because I know Bo better than you do, which is like, I don't know Bo at all. So I could be wrong, but like, I don't know. It's all meta and confusing. Like it's all just like complicated, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the like double personality thing?
It makes sense, because I mean, like I feel like everybody has their like, I don't want to call it like your truest self, but like you have like you're a slightly different version of yourself depending on who you're with, like because like everybody brings like different energies out of other people, like so like Robert is just like who he is like when he's alone, when he's just doing his thing, like he, and you know, the day-to-day is like that's Robert, and for lack of a alternate name. And then Bo is like, you know, the energy, it's like the product of like all the energy that Robert puts in. So like we only see, just like with any other artist or, you know, actor, performer, whatever, we only see like a minute fraction of this person's life and this person's like personality and thought and stuff. I don't like, because I feel like when you say duality, like not you, but like the proverbial, like you, the internet, ye folks out there on the interwebs, I feel like when people say duality, it makes it seem like they're not linked at, like they're like linked at the base, like, and they like prong. I really feel like, if I'm gonna be pretentious, it's kind of, it literally is like a double helix, like it's like DNA. It's like this is just like you're seeing something that is a part of me that is just shining more because I'm performing, because I am doing this thing, whereas this other part of me is equally me as Bo is or whatever, and I'm just like mopping my floor or eating a sandwich, you know, like so I think I see it, and I understand. I think that it's just it's just us seeing like a slightly larger fraction of who he is, because we don't know what he's like when he's with his family or with his partner or just like alone with his dog, you know, like like everyone. Sorry, I'm rambling again, but
no, I mean, I agree. I think everybody has, like, even right now, like you and I, like this is a performance for like the relationship that I have with you. It's not like it's not authentic, but like the way that I act with you is not the same that I act with like Ryan when it's just us two, or like when I'm by myself.
No,
I mean, you know what I mean? Like we have different fronts for like the different relationships that we have in our lives. And this, I think, it's all Bo, because ultimately we're still only seeing what Bo wants us to see. Exactly. Even the parts that are Robert, quote unquote. I you know, maybe we're reading into this way too much, but like
I refuse to criticize how deeply we're reading into this.
I'm just self-conscious. It's like doing the like reaction thing.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism. I'm just trying to not be an asshole, but I'm still an asshole. It's whatever. But you know, it's all what he wants us to see. He's still only showing us it's the sliver of truth that he's allowing us to see.
But it's enough to remind the audience that like he's a person.
Yeah.
Like he's a performer, but he's also just like we keep calling him Robert as if he but like he's just Robert.
His name is Robert Paulson.
I forgot about that.
Just kidding. Bringing it back, but yeah. And then, funny enough, we have Welcome to the Internet, which is a vibe check.
Yeah, very like circus, like creepy theme song. I liked it. Again, I'm not much of an internet person, despite doing this podcast with you. Like I don't venture too deep into the web, so it was just like it was okay. Like I was just like ha ha ha, fun ditty, but I wasn't like as like ha ha so accurate as maybe other people were. It was much more a blip on the radar to me than his other songs.
Yeah. I just appreciated that it was like everything, all the things that you can find, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, just imagine like yeah, there's so much weird shit on the internet. Imagine like what, like, not to kink shame, but like what the freaky people were up to before the internet. Like how did all the furries connect? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sorry if you're a furry. It's just the obvious, it's low hanging fruit. It's the obvious choice when you're talking about just like kind of weird communities on the internet.
I just like that it's like everything that you're just like scrolling through your timeline and it's like you can see a recipe that you want to try, and then next it's like, look at this 5-year-old that got shot in the face, and then like look at this, like all this like racial tension, look at this you should kill your mom. Just like all the things that are like, is it healthy to have all of these things just casually all in the same place as you're
probably not
scrolling?
Also, like how algorithms work, which is like kind of what he was alluding to as well, was like just like you click on one thing and all of a sudden like your entire like timeline is like, I think I had like the weirdest time. Mine started showing me like conspiracy theories
I don't know
about was it vaccines? I think it was about vaccines. Like I started getting like a lot of a mask. I started getting a lot of like weird posts about, at first I wasn't sure what they were, and then I was like, as I read, I was like, oh, I don't know what my algorithm did, but now I'm getting like all like the far right people making fun of people who are getting vaccines. Like it was really weird.
Oh no.
I have no idea how I got there. Oops.
Madeline?
I'll have to find it. It was like, I don't want to go looking for it, but it was like on my Instagram timeline.
Pro-vax podcast, like you said.
We are a pro-vax podcast.
No, I feel like I'm just like, this whole thing is very good. Every song is very good, you know, like I don't have anything else to say specifically about Welcome to the Internet, because it speaks for itself. It's like
Exactly.
very ominous and talks about, you know, our unhealthy relationship with the internet, and how it's both helpful in connecting with people and also really damaging at the same time.
Agreed.
And for the sake of time, I feel like we should just kind of talk about That Funny Feeling, All Eyes on Me, and Goodbye, kind of all at once. These are the heavy hitters of the special. It's, you know, That Funny Feeling, he's like sitting in a fake fire, got the woods projected behind him. He's like jamming on his guitar, talking about all these things that, you know, give you that feeling of anxiety, depression, doom, just all the things that remind you that the world is shit and that, you know, make you want to go back inside yourself. Especially during this time of the pandemic and being on the internet and everything. And I think this was, you know, this is the start of it, like really being like heavy, because there's after Welcome to the Internet, there's no jokes anymore.
Yeah, it stopped being funny.
Yeah. So, and All Eyes on Me just like is a bop. It is a banger.
Oh, it slaps. Like you're like, are you okay, Bo? But at the same time, like you're like bopping, you're like, yeah.
It's just, it's like, I don't even, if he just released it like on its own outside of the special, it's still like incredible. And he's like so vulnerable. He's just like standing there, sure, like, you know, he's just there singing about the state of the world and everything being shitty and being both hopeful and, you know, desperate and hopeless at the same time. I don't know. It's just like, it's also like disturbing because he like feels like he's unhinged.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think like to like just rewind a little, like a tiny bit. I was thinking about like the clip where he's like, where it's him in the beginning where he's like, I don't want to kill myself.
Oh,
like,
yeah. We totally.
And then it like cuts to like him obviously months later, you know, the hair is grown out his beard and he's literally just sitting there. Like, it was definitely kind of like an homage to like how different his state of mental health was at the beginning versus at that point in filming. And I'm sure that was like right before he was doing or during when he was recording All Eyes on Me and That Funny Feeling. And I was like, yeah, you can literally tell there's almost a, like, as you said, like the slate is wiped clean. Like there's literally a part 1 and 2 to this.
Yeah. Yeah. I've totally forgot about that part. Yeah. Also, he's just like saying, just don't kill yourself.
Just don't.
It's like
that was like I'm like, oh yeah, you saved so many lives. I know he's joking, but it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like the things that you say to people. It's like, what do you say to people who?
Oh, and he was like, there are people who love you. Well, he's like, well, maybe they're not, but there will be maybe people who love you.
Yeah. It's just like the empty words that like everybody says to people who say that they're struggling and be like, just don't kill yourself. Like anything that you say to people who are in that state, it's like, how do you communicate that like without it feeling like it's falling short, you know?
Yeah.
It just feels kind of empty, even though it might be coming from a genuine place. Like, you know, like I said, I wasn't going to hold anything back in this podcast, but like last week I was having like, you know, I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I mean, I've been struggling with anxiety and depression for a few years now, but like, I think especially now that we're coming out of the pandemic and there's just been so much that's happened over the past year. And like, I just moved to a new place. I've had a lot of things happen in the past few months that are just like put a lot of stress on me, and then just trying to figure out myself as an artist and, you know, trying to make things for people that they will like, that they will buy, because I need to support myself, but also I need to express myself as an artist. And it's just like really hard to keep up with. And then I watched this and I just felt so validated, but at the same time, it was like forcing me to like acknowledge that I had all of these feelings, and I just kind of like unraveled. Like I was like spiraling, like for real spiraling. And I had like panic attacks every morning for a few days last week. So that's why we didn't have any episodes the last few weeks, because I could not get myself to edit and get things out on time. But
guys, Olivia does so much. I literally just sit here. I literally just show up.
That's not true.
I offered at one point to like try and edit them, and I think Olivia very kindly shut down. I was like, I can help, and then you were like, ah.
No, okay.
You're like trying to tell me what like apps to use or some shit, and I was like, I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. But yeah, and this podcast is like an escape for me. You know, it's like a place where I can come and talk to my best friend about things that I'm passionate about and things that I care about, without the pressure of it being like an actual job, you know, because we're not getting paid for this. But and I don't want it to turn into that, where I feel like I have to, if I don't perform a week, then like everything is falling apart.
We're fired.
Yeah, like I think it's healthy for us to give ourselves space if we need it. And that's what the last few weeks have been for me, because this fucking special just destroyed my life. But yeah. I don't
like
even know.
I said, it brings a lot to the front of your mind. You're just like, haha, oh.
Yeah. I don't even know where I was going with all that. I just probably overshared way too much, but I don't know. I just felt like the
it's
special
a safe
really,
space, man.
Yeah. It like just really, like I said, validated everything in a way that I haven't felt any piece of media I've consumed over the past year has adequately done. And so I'm glad that we actually agreed to talk about it, because I feel like I probably needed to talk about it. But you know,
that was also me like showing you that I had a TikTok when I commented on your post.
Oh, so like I can't like shit talk you on my TikTok if I wanted to?
No, I was just like, let me be creepy, because I don't think Olivia knows that I have a TikTok, and I haven't posted anything. I don't have a profile picture. It's literally, I don't even know my TikTok username. It's dubchub something.
Of course it is.
Hold up. I gotta get an email. It's not an OnlyFans. Stop. Oh, there's TikTok. Yes, it's at dub with 1 B and then chub with 2 B's. So at dubchub. Chub is with 2 B's.
Nice.
Dubchub.
Anyways, how did you feel about those songs? I feel like I just rambled a little bit.
Again, I felt like it definitely, like, you felt that All Eyes on Me was like the climax, like the big song of the special.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it really felt like, I was like in that catatonic like mode where I was like watching this, and I'm like, I know I'm supposed to like, not supposed to, but like I know I should be feeling something right now, like. And it wasn't a bad thing that I wasn't. It was, I recognize that, because I'm like, wow, like this is like really, it's powerful. Like it was a powerful like song. It was a powerful like performance, and like very visually, like I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Was like just like him like all like blue or whatever, blue wash or brown, I don't know the term, but he was like blue lighting and all that good stuff. And it was like, I feel like that was probably the song he put like the most like, I don't want to say effort, but like
his like the most vulnerability, I guess.
Yeah, like the most, like he put a lot of force behind it, as far as like, I'm going to drive home the fact that I am not well, and that I want you to know that.
Yeah, I'm a human being that is going through something.
Yeah. And so I appreciated it.
Yeah, I think that's where like my attraction comes from, is like you can see the vulnerability that he's putting into this work. So I think it's like a mix between admiring that and respecting the work that he has put into this, and just appreciating all of it. But yeah, I guess we can start to wrap it up, unless you have any other major thoughts on Inside. We've been talking for a while?
Nah, man. I mean, I kind of liked the end where he was like struggling with like leaving the space.
Yeah.
But he eventually does.
Yeah, it's kind of like you become comfortable in being inside and being in that like dark place because and it's scary to try to seek help because you've grown to be comfortable even though you know that it's like unhealthy.
Yeah.
And also it's like he's been making this piece of art and he doesn't want to give it up to us.
Yeah. Because like once it's out there, it's open for criticism, and
once it's outside, you can't get back inside, which is like why he's like he can't get back in at the end.
Yeah,
because he's already put it out there, he's finished it, he's given it up, and it's open for everyone else's interpretation. But ultimately, he is proud of it, or at least that's my read with the like smirk at the end. It's like he's proud of it and he's okay with us taking it and running with it. So man, oh man, I feel like I could keep going, but we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta go cry for an hour now. No, yeah. No, it was wonderful. I'm glad we did end up sitting down and talking about it. Like, is it a movie?
I think so. I mean, it's got like a narrative that we follow. It's not
supposed to be right. I suppose you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we watched it. It does not fit in our powerful women in film, but again, it's a bonus episode, so it doesn't count. Towards powerful women. Which sounds bad.
but we are powerful women and we talked about it, so.
Darn right. We're powerful. We do what we want. It's our show.
Hell yeah. All right. So thank you for talking about it with me, Madeline.
Of course.
I'm excited to get back into actual movies.
Yeah.
I will talk to you again soon. If you like this episode and you want to hear us talk about other movies, you can follow us on Instagram to see what we're up to at Another Picture Show. You can listen to us on Spotify, on YouTube, on Google Podcasts, on all that jazz.
And you can follow me on TikTok at DubChub.
Yes. All right. Well, I love you, Madeline.
I love you, Olivia.
I will see you again soon.
That sounds ominous, but okay.
I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.